Historical films and TV shows have consistently messed up through the years, with tons of historical errors and mistakes making it to the screen. A glaring error was caught by fans in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, the critically acclaimed film about the scientist who helped develop the atomic bomb. In one scene, Oppenheimer stands in front of a crowd of people in Los Alamos in 1945, and people in the crowd are waving US flags which have 50 stars. To most people this wouldn't be cause for concern, but history buffs know that the 50-star flag didn't exist until 1959 when then-President Eisenhower officially established it with Executive Order 10834. Click on for the funniest mistakes in TV and film you may also like. An incredibly glaring error made it into the final cut of an episode of Emily in Paris. In episode 3 of the third season, Emily, played by Lily Collins, walks around a hotel room in Paris and fans notice that the one and only Eiffel Tower can be seen out of 2 different windows. The show already includes the iconic landmark in as many scenes as possible, and TikTok users were quick to make fun of the mistake. Fun fact, the Eiffel Tower exists outside of space-time and can appear within eyesight of anyone in Paris no matter which direction they're facing, one user joked. Shonda Rhimes' hit Netflix series, Bridgerton, has attracted a huge audience, which is great but also means that ever more watchful eyes are trained on production for mistakes. But who would have thought they'd find some in the premiere episode? That's right, eagle-eyed viewers noticed that the Regency-era drama had a splash of modernity in it. The episode begins with a scene showing the town square, spotted with horse-drawn buggies and elaborate costumes, but one shot reveals a yellow traffic line atop the cobblestone street, which didn't originate until the 1940s, according to CNN. Other viewers also spotted a telecom's manhole cover, as well as posters for the retail store Primark. Set in the mid-1800s, it's pretty obvious that a hydro flask and a Poland Spring water bottle had no business being in the background of Greta Gerwig's Little Women. Yet that's exactly what happened. It's one of the most popular and critically acclaimed shows ever, but Game of Thrones still has its errors. One of the most hilarious mistakes was in the episode, The Last of the Starks, where a coffee cup could be seen on a table next to Daenerys. It's not the only mistake of the series. In the season finale, plastic water bottles can be seen on the floor, beside characters like Samwell Tarly. Vikings makes for great TV, but the gritty historical drama has a few errors. The helmets are all wrong, and Vikings didn't even call each other Vikings. Braveheart was one of the biggest films at the time of its release, with many awards, media attention, and drama. However, Mel Gibson's film is littered with historical inaccuracies. The most glaring happens during a battle against the English, when a Fort Mondeo can be found in the background. The Tudors took a stylized approach to the life of King Henry VIII, portrayed by the talented Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. The actor's appearance hardly matches the historical records of Henry VIII. The show also meddled around with the time Henry married Anne Boleyn. Gladiator took home 5 Oscars and made stars of Russell Crowe and Joaquin Phoenix, yet the film still had a historical mistake. During an intense battle in the Colosseum, a chariot flips over, revealing a gas cylinder. Did you miss it? With Jon Hamm in the leading role, Mad Men earned high praise for its historical accuracy. However, one episode fatefully slipped up. During one episode set in 1964, Don Draper, Ham, settles down and watches a nighttime NFL game. Problem is, primetime football didn't air until 1970. Oh well. It's one of the most beloved series in film, but Back to the Future is not exempt from a few historical errors. It's a time travel film, after all. A big error is found in the iconic first film, when Marty McFly takes the stage in 1955, introducing Johnny Be Good to the world. He plays a Gibson ES 345, which did not emerge until 1958. It's one of the most popular period dramas in recent years, but fans found a hilarious mistake in a promo photo for Downton Abbey. One promo picture featured Hugh Bonneville and Laura Carmichael with a plastic bottle perched on the mantelpiece behind them. Steven Spielberg might be the visionary behind some of the best-loved films of the last 40 years, but it seems he wouldn't be much help in a geography test. The iconic map transitions in the Indiana Jones films are filled with mistakes, too many to list. We're afraid. Why is it the time-traveling stories that always struggle with historical mistakes? This sci-fi show also messed up. During one episode set in 1743, characters Claire and Gillis Duncan are prosecuted for witchcraft. Only one problem: witchcraft wasn't a crime past 1735, and accusing someone of being a witch was actually illegal. Alfred Hitchcock made some of the most thrilling films ever, and North by Northwest is no exception. Spoilers ahead. One pivotal scene was actually spoiled by an actor on set. A child actor plugs their ears right before Kendall shoots the man she believes to be Kaplan. Leonardo is a kids' show about the rise of Leonardo da Vinci. The show's creators had to simplify some things, but this mistake is a little unforgivable. The show is set in 1467, with Da Vinci being best friends with Niccolò Machiavelli, who was actually born in 1469. And for his part, Da Vinci was born in 1452. A bit of a stretch all around. This film tells the true story of the real Dallas Buyers Club, an experimental medical center that served AIDS patients during the 80s. But at one point, Ron Woodroof, Matthew McConaughey, is seen in front of a poster of a Lamborghini Aventador, which came out in 2011. Django Unchained was one of the biggest films of 2012. But Quentin Tarantino's Western didn't get its historical facts just right. Jamie Foxx stars as the titular Django, who is seen sporting sunglasses throughout the film. Sunglasses, along with his eccentric outfits, were introduced later on in history. This was a stylized movie about the titular French queen. The movie makes one or two attempts to bridge the 18th century to the modern day. At one point, the audience can see a pair of Converse sneakers in shot. However, this was actually intentional, to help make historical figures more relatable. Now that you're here, you can also read about the historical facts that are anything but factual.